Aaron Rodgers is going to play for the San Francisco 49ers? No. Was there a time in history when the San Francisco 49ers wanted Aaron Rodgers to play for them? Yes. And it was not that long ago. It was 2021. I know that's a lifetime in the NFL, particularly considering, players can fall off pretty quickly. I will say this about the 49ers. Brock Purdy has been up and down this season. The remainder of this schedule is very important for him. For his extension purposes, I think he has to finish out the season strong. I think if he doesn't do that and they miss the playoffs, I think the 49ers will be inclined to go, let's wait on the extension. Let's go ahead and let him play out the fourth year of his contract. We can always franchise tag him. That's not the plan right now, by the way. The plan is to extend him. But if things change and Brock Purdy, it has some inconsistency and they miss the playoffs, all I think about with Kyle Shanahan is after they lost the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo, the next offseason, I remember people in the league telling me, Kyle's a little shaken on Jimmy Garoppolo. Kyle can run hot and cold with guys. There are teams out there where I'm sure Aaron Rodgers, he said he wants to play in 2025. You talk to people who are close to him, they're like, look, he doesn't want this Jets thing to be his legacy. So I think he does have motivation to still play at least one more season. And if the right situation presents itself, I think he would be on board with that. I don't think he's going to be on board with a rebuild. I don't think he's going to want to go someplace where there's a bunch of drama and problems. But I think, again, if the right situation presents itself, like the Vikings presented themselves to Brett Favre, we could be looking at a situation where he goes and he plays somewhere else and there's some juice left in the squeeze. And I'm going to be watching the 49ers really closely because I'm just telling you, I think that Purdy is in a critical juncture right now with that head coach and with that franchise, knowing that they want to extend him, but he's got to show down the stretch in imperfect times in a franchise, you can put it together.
Aaron Rodgers seems like he's very hyper aware of stuff like his legacy. He's had some halves of football where me and you, Charles, have been texting like, oh my goodness, this is the week we have to write that it's over for. This is Willie Mays falling down in the outfield. This is really bad for Aaron Rodgers. Then he's got to righted the ship in the second half or whatever. So he's not off the cliff yet, but man, it's getting close. And I just wonder if he wants to, and he doesn't seem like a guy either who needs football, who is just like, I got nothing else to do. I'm going to play until they close the doors on me. So I just wonder if he really wants to start over.
What's going on, everyone? It's Coffee back at it talking some NFL with y'all. And if things haven't been bad enough for Rodgers and the Jets this year, being the laughing stock of the league, him getting the coach fired, just all the things that they did to get Rodgers to come to New York, the way it went last year, getting hurt, his first time out on the field, you know what I mean? Basically, y'all see the footage of him running out there, planting the U.S. flag in the middle of the field, and then him going down, getting hurt, and all that talk at the end of last season that he might make a comeback, you know what I mean? But the Jets were eliminated pretty much. It was an ish show, just like it's been this year. All the drama, all the snarky ass comments, him trying to make everyone believe he doesn't have that much of a say-so within the Jets organization, which I still say, man, is so wild. That all happened because of Tom Brady, man. Y'all feel me on that? When Brady went to Tampa and got that Super Bowl ring, when he left New England, Tampa was ready to go all in and give him a say on personnel, play calling, be more than a player, obviously. And nonetheless, the amazing dynasty that Brady's had and everything that he's done, someone was going to do it. And Tampa was the team that said, hey, we'll go against the grain and let a player kind of wear a GM hat a little bit. Let a player wear the coach had a little bit, the offensive coordinator. And we saw the way that went. I mean, they got a Super Bowl, but him and the coach definitely bumped heads like a motherfucker, man. And, it was that whole title, that Super Bowl ring is still so crazy to me, man, that they did what they did. I like Tampa that season. It was like, man, are they going to squeak in the playoffs or whatever? And for them to run the table the way in which they did was something else, man. But the Jets, obviously that set the precedent, the slippery slope for that to happen with other players, and the Jets, everything they've done with Aaron Rodgers for him, and just flat out how pathetic it has all been. It just is so crazy to me to hear people talking about what's next for Aaron. You know what I mean? Will he be back next year? Is he going to continue following in Favre's footsteps? Like, you know, Brett was a guy that a lot of people were like, man, this dude just doesn't know when to bow out gracefully, as you see a lot of fans saying, man, Rodgers should have bowed out gracefully after Green Bay. Like, what do you guys think? Is Rodgers really gonna push on and be with another organization? Do you guys see him back with the Jets? I mean, you see what Brett Favre, speaking of Favre, is talking about in regards to Aaron Rodgers, as he said, there's a little time to right the ship, but they better hurry. They ain't righting any ship. It's a wrap for the Jets. If they do and they make a run, maybe he walks away. What are you talking about, Favre? They ain't making no run. I just find it hard to believe that a competitor of the magnitude that Aaron has been over the years will go out that way if it ended today. You know, that's the thing. A lot of people don't know when to walk away. I mean, you heard me talking about Tom Brady. Like, obviously, it's amazing what the dude did for him to get that Super Bowl ring his first year leaving the Patriots with Tampa. And again, comment everyone out there, if leading into the postseason or week 10 and on, like, you know what I mean? You saw that happen. I truly didn't. I really didn't. But even that next season with Tampa, it was like, damn, Tom, you should have just bowed out then. You know, you went to another organization and won a Super Bowl. It was amazing. Gronk came back with you. Peace, you know? But still, it doesn't tarnish his legacy after everything he did. It was kind of a wild way to see him, you know, go out getting whooped on in the playoffs like that, but still, like, what Tom Brady's done, you know what I mean? But I bet you he wish maybe he would have just retired when we all thought that he did. I still feel like the media jumping the gun and spoiling it before he could make his announcement is what kept him pushing on for another season. And it seems he lost his wife in the process. I don't know. That's allegedly, you know what I mean? But he's done moved on, got him another chick. Giselle's doing her thing or whatever. But it's just crazy, you know, like, to see Rodgers, you see all the comparisons to Brett Favre. Will the prophecy continue on? You know what I mean? Will he go to Minnesota, keep following in Brett Favre's footsteps? All the comparisons about him and Tom Brady. Obviously, we know everything Brady's done dynasty-wise, all the rings. It's, you know, like, will we ever see something like that again? I don't know. Comment and let me know if you believe so or not. But at one point in time, there was a lot of people that might say, hey, Brady's done everything that he did with that team, with that dynasty, but Aaron Rodgers ain't no slouch compared to Brady. And now you see people, it's just a joke even speaking of them in the same fashion, where people are talking about, look at this dude, he looks like a buster looking in the camera every time something goes wrong, like he's breaking the fourth wall or the third wall or whatever the fuck it is on an episode of The Office or Parks and Recreation. You know, look at, he goes to another organization, Tom goes to another organization, wins the Super Bowl. Rodgers goes somewhere, gets the coach fired and keeps getting hurt. And that's another thing too. There's all these reports indicating that Rodgers is banged up like crazy, all worn down, and won't do these scans that they want him to do in fear that they'll say, yo, you are in no condition to carry on and keep pushing on. You're hurt, man. You know, it was a tall order for you to even come back from that injury last year at this age and start again. You know what I mean? And here you are now, all banged up. The organization has been ripped to shreds. Like, what do we? And we got people talking about what's next for Aaron Rodgers at this point in time. I really feel like, is there really a team out there that would welcome him with open arms next year if he wants to continue on? You know what I mean? As like I said, you see the Favre comparisons and the prophecy. Will he play for the Vikings, will there be a team to reach out to him? It's so wild what the Vikings got going on with their quarterback this year. Who would have thunk that? You know what I mean? It's wild, man. I thought with Kirk departing from Minnesota, they were in trouble this year. But hey, man, Sam wanted to show everyone he had more to offer than what we had saw from him. It's pretty crazy. Him and Baker Mayfield showing that they were better than what we had seen still blows my mind. But back to talking about Aaron Rodgers, everyone, like, comment, do you guys really see someone out there wanting Rodgers back? You know, not just how bad it's been for the Jets and everything like that, performance-wise and the injuries and everything, but all the drama just making the franchise a mockery, man. Like, I don't know, the Jets were a team that I looked at like, man, they got a very high upside. They're on the brink of kind of turning things around and being a better squad, you know what I mean? As if you don't know, you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the buttons and all that. I'm a diehard Buffalo Bills fan. What a time to be a Bills fan, man. Hit the comments, Bills Mafia or anyone else out there, like, with the Bills, man. I'm telling you guys, I think this is the year. You know, what a big game we got coming up as we're on a bye week, as the Jets are also. You know, we go into a bye on a 6-game win streak, putting Kansas City in the dirt with Josh Allen making that amazing run, the play of the season thus far. And then we got a holiday matchup with the Lions. That should be a big game. And then we got to take on the Niners, my bro, Jay Millie's team. Shout out to Millie. I don't know if you hear this or not, but that'd be a big game. And that's something else we got to talk about now is the Niners and Brock Purdy, as you guys heard that clip in the beginning. But everyone, let me know your thoughts about the joke that is Aaron Rodgers in the future, and, you know, what Favre said and the Brady comparisons and everything, you know, what you think the future will be and your thoughts across the board. But talking about Brock and the Niners, man, what do you guys think? You know, like, Brock Purdy is a dude that was just on fire from the second that he took a snap under center for the Niners. And obviously everyone knows the way it went. You know, he got hurt in the playoffs, and it went the way it went, and they got their get back against the Eagles when Brock was out there. And, you know, he's just been lights out. And this year there's been some struggles and everything like that. And it's wild to see the Niners in this situation. The NFC West still a game back from the division. As you see, all the teams in the division are basically right around 500, but then 3 games back from the wild card spot. Could they miss the playoffs? Will they miss the playoffs? I have faith that the Niners will turn it around and do the damn thing and win the division. If not, it will be a tall order for them to reach the playoffs. But, you know, they definitely got another L coming against my Buffalo Bills. But that's wild. You know, like, Brock's a guy that is still on this rookie contract, and everyone's been, you know, had it, you know, down like, man, this dude's about to cash out when negotiation times comes and signs that big extension and get paid like he's weighed out there. And, you know, football is a business, and with his struggles and everything like that, what do you guys think? I mean, it's wild to me. Like, I think about negotiations, like what kind of money he'll get. You hear that one dude like almost saying, man, could he end up with another team? Does anyone really see a possibility of that if they miss the playoffs and it comes time for them to negotiate? Brock not being able to come to terms about his pay raise that he should get? Should all the struggles on the team be put on Brock? And I don't know, could anyone see a scenario like that happening where he's unhappy when negotiation time comes if they do miss the playoffs and he wants out of San Fran? Could it be? I don't think so. I do think the Niners will get in the playoffs, winning the division, but that's just so wild to hear a scenario like that theorized upon, you know, with everything that we've seen Brock do. Just to hear that, I'm like, man, that's crazy. And just as crazy as it is to hear Rodgers, like, where will he be next year? Is he pushing on, man? Like I said, I think Rodgers should retire and if he is indeed banged up like these reports are indicating, it's probably in his best interest he does. Like, on top of falling from grace even further and hurting his legacy more and more. And will a team want him? Will the team reach out? Will the Brett Favre prophecy continue upon, or will that be it? Will he even be able to with all these injuries? I think he should just leave it all behind. But like, that's crazy for me to hear. But to hear this about Brock, like, I don't know. I want to know what everyone out there thinks about this extension wise, and everything that these dudes were talking about, not talked about in this video. Tap in, comment as well as my Buffalo Bills and our quest, for this Super Bowl. I mean, what a way to go into a bye week and get that rest. It just couldn't be at a better time. This season is just going perfect for the Buffalo Bills, man. So that's going to do it for this one. I look forward to talking to everyone in the comments. Subscribe, stay tuned for more. It's Coffee, talking music, news, sports, and more. And I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.